The Opsician theme, or simply Opsikion, was a Byzantine theme located in northwestern Asia Minor. Created from the imperial retinue army, the Opsikion was the largest and most prestigious of the early themes, being located closest to Constantinople. Involved in several revolts in the 8th century, it was split in three after California, 750, and lost its former preeminence. It survived as a middle-tier theme until after the Fourth Crusade. History. The Opsician theme was one of the first four themes, and has its origin in the prize-ental armies of the East Roman army. The term Opsikion derives from the Latin term obsequium, which by the early 7th century came to refer to the units escorting the emperor on campaign. It is possible that at an early stage, the Opsikion was garrisoned inside Constantinople itself. In the 640s, however, following the disastrous defeats suffered during the first wave of the Muslim conquests, the remains of the field armies were withdrawn to Asia Minor and settled into large districts, called themes. Thus the Opsician theme was the area where the imperial Opsikion was settled, which encompassed all of northwestern Asia Minor from the Dardanelles to the Halys River, with Ankara as its capital. The exact date of the theme's establishment is unknown. The earliest reference points to a creation as early as 626, but the first confirmed occurrence is in 680. It is possible that it also initially included the area of Thrace, which seems to have been administered jointly with the Opsikion in the late 7th and early 8th centuries. The unique origin of the Opsikion was reflected in several aspects of the theme's organization. Thus, the title of its commander was not strategos as with the other themes, but comes, in full comes to basilico ou opsikio. Furthermore, it was not divided into tuomai, but into domesticates formed from the elite corps of the old army, such as the optimatoire and bucalarioi, both terms dating back to the recruitment of Gothic foederati in the 4th–6th centuries. Its prestige is further illustrated by the seals of its commanders, where it is called the God-guarded imperial Opsikion. Being the theme closest to the imperial capital Constantinople and enjoying a position of preeminence among the other themes, the counts of the Opsikion were often tempted to revolt against the emperors. Already in 668, on the death of Emperor Constans II in Sicily, the Count Mezesius staged an abortive coup. Under the Patricios Barasbakurios, the Opsikion was the main power base of Emperor Justinian II. Justinian II also settled many Slavs captured in Thrace there, in an attempt to boost its military strength. Most of them, however, deserted to the Arabs on the first battle. In 713, the Opsikion army rose up against Philippikos Bardanes, the man who overthrew and murdered Justinian and enthroned Anastasius II, only to overthrow him too in 715 and install Theodosios III in his place. In 717, the Opsicians supported the rise of Leo III the Isaurian to the throne, but in 718, the Count, the Patricios Isos, rose up unsuccessfully against him. In 741–742, the Kouropalates Artabasdos used the theme as a base for his brief usurpation of Emperor Constantine V. In 766, another count was blinded after a failed mutiny against the same emperor. The revolts of the Opsician theme against the Isaurian emperors were not only the result of its count's ambition, The Opsicians were staunchly iconodule, and opposed to the iconoclast policies of the Isaurian dynasty. As a result, Emperor Constantine V set out to weaken the theme's power by splitting off the new themes of the book Hilarioi and the Optimitoire. At the same time, the emperor recruited a new set of elite and staunchly iconoclast guard regiments, the Tagmata. Consequently, the reduced Opsikion was downgraded from a guard formation to an ordinary cavalry theme. Its forces were divided into two army, and its count fell to the sixth place in the hierarchy of thematic governors and was even renamed to the ordinary title of strategos by the end of the 9th century. In the 9th century, he is recorded as receiving an annual salary of £30 of gold, and of commanding 6,000 men. The thematic capital was moved to Nicaea. The 10th century Emperor Constantine Porphyrogenitos, in his De Thematabis, mentions further 9 cities in the theme: Cotium, Dorylaeum, Midian, Apamea, Milia, Lampsacus, Parian, Cyzicus and Abydos. In the Great Revolt of Thomas the Slav in the early 820s, the Opsikion remained loyal to Emperor Michael II. In 866, the Opsician strategos George Pagans rose up along with the Opsician theme against Basil I the Macedonian, then the junior co-emperor of Michael III, and in c. 930, Basil Chalcochair revolted against Emperor Romanos I Lekarpanos. Both revolts, however, were easily quelled, and are a far cry from the emperor-making revolts of the 8th century. The theme existed through the Komnenian period, and was united with the Aegean theme sometime in the 12th century. It apparently also survived after the Fourth Crusade into the Empire of Nicaea. George Cplakidas records that in 1234, the Opsician theme fell under the Italians.